Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. That's one of the most famous quotations from a physician called Hippocrates, who's considered to be the father of Western medicine. Welcome to Genesis in Medicine podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Victoria Joseph. I am so excited to have you here. This is the podcast where we delve into all things nutrition, health, and medicine. And we are grounded in truth, research, knowledge, as well as real life experiences. Now let's dive into the episode. So one of the most common questions I get asked in my field with so many clients that I meet with is, what is the best diet that will work for me? And my answer is always the same. It depends. It really depends. I know this is not an answer that we love to hear, but it really depends with what state of health you're in, the genetics, what is your lifestyle, what is your field of work, how is your life in general. So it really depends. But I can tell you for a fact, the mother of all diets, the diet that works with almost all of us, is called balanced diet. I know that is so boring and probably out of place. Maybe you needed something that is even, better than that. But the reality is, yes, balanced diet is the diet that works with almost all of us. And as much as, yes, we have had people who use ketone diets, they're using Mediterranean diet. There's so many diets out there, and we know some of them are fads. Fads are false diets, the diets that are just there because they're trendy. They say that they're helpful, but in reality, not really nourishing your body, not really fulfilling the goal that you're requiring for that, but also not sustainable. They're not realistic. There are some diets there's so much restriction, and to a point that because there's so much restriction, then your relationship with food is also very much affected, and it's affected in a negative way. You have a very poor relationship with food just because of the diets that you're using. So my best answer is always, it depends, but also at the same time, I would tell you balanced diet works for almost all of us. Now, what is balanced diet? In a very easy term, we say balanced diet is a diet that contains various groups of foods. Every group of foods that we are to eat, the ones that we have learned back in primary school, in grade 2, grade 3, we've heard from our science teacher about balanced diet. And we know there are a group of foods that are supposed to be there for that diet to be balanced. But I will explain a little bit in a little bit of time what balanced actually means, because most of the times we limit the definition of balanced diet only to the number of the groups of food that we are going to be eating. But in reality, there's so much more when it comes to balanced diet. There's so much more you have to balance in that diet. So the balanced diet contains various groups of foods. They contain carbohydrates, famously known as carbs. They contain protein. They contain vitamins. They contain fats. They contain minerals. So minerals can be such as zinc, calcium, magnesium. All that is also part of balanced diet. Now, in real sense, we have heard so much negative issues, or rather negativity, when it comes to carbs, carbohydrates. Most people would be like, don't eat carbohydrates, they're not good for you, they make you fat, and all that. And I understand, but in real sense, what makes you gain weight that is unwanted is eating a high calorie food and burning less calories. So the high calories food can come from carbohydrates, they can even come from protein as well. It's not necessarily just carbohydrates that is high in calories. So yes, as much as carbohydrates can be higher, or you can easily have higher calories from the carbohydrates, but it doesn't mean that it's all bad. As a matter of fact, carbohydrates is the source of energy in our bodies. So the reason why you will need carbohydrates in your meal, in your everyday eating, is because you need energy to go on about your day. At the same time, if you're going to abuse the eating of carbs, you might get sluggish and tired and sleepy and all that because you have actually overeaten compared to what is required. So it's very dependent with whose body, and also at the same time, what is your work? What is your job? Are you just sitting the whole day? Are you working? Is it hands-on? Are you always active? Do you go for workouts and all that? So it's very dependent. That's why my answer is usually it depends. Now, so when it comes to carbohydrates, we have, foods. The foods that I highly encourage people to eat are the foods that are not refined. They are not processed. So, unrefined foods such as, like brown rice and oats and, brown pasta and all that. But you know what? Today we're not going to talk into details when it comes to carbohydrates. That's going to be another episode. So let's just stay on the surface level. So with proteins, we know what proteins are. So proteins, we have legumes. Legumes are such as beans and peas and lentils. All those are in the group of legumes. We have eggs, we have meat, we have variety of meat, we have fish. So all that is in the protein sector. I'm also not going to go into details about it. We'll dive into it even more later on. But also we have fats. Now fats can easily be found even in the foods that we're already eating that maybe are found in carbohydrates or in protein. But you can have fats also from nuts and avocado if you want to add more fats on your food as well. So it's really dependent. You can also find fats in the meat as well. So it's really dependable. And another thing is vitamins. Now, we have a lot of classes of vitamins, a lot of them. We know we have vitamin A, vitamin B, B12, B6, we have B9. There's just a lot of vitamins. Even the ones that we probably have not discovered yet. So when it comes to vitamins, we sum it up to fruits and, vegetables. But in reality, the thing is, it's not just about what kind of, you are eating just one fruit or you're just eating one kind of vegetable. So that is where I'll talk in about food diversity. But I'm going ahead of myself. So let me just stick onto this as well. Just so it's like fruits and vegetables, most of those are found in the vitamins group. So with the minerals, we have minerals such as zinc, calcium, magnesium. This you can find in different foods that you eat. So for instance, calcium, you can find it in milk, in yogurts, and mostly dairy products. So you can find minerals in different foods that can also be found in protein, can also be found in vitamins, can also be found in carbohydrates. So you see, it's a whole mix-up of a lot of things, right? So let's talk about another aspect of balanced diet. So here we have explored the groups of food, right? Now let's explore about what it really means to have balanced diet. So most of the times when we think about balanced diet, we're thinking in every single meal, my food has to be balanced. Yes, if you're capable of doing that, that is amazing. But it's really a continuous aspect of life. So for instance, you have your plate, maybe in the morning, you have decided to take carbs and protein only, or carbs and vitamin only. And maybe at night, maybe you decide to take, proteins and vitamins and, other minerals. That is considered to be a balanced meal for a whole day. So it doesn't necessarily mean that in one meal, your plate has to be full of all those groups of food. No, you can have all those groups of food, but for it to be really realistic, you can divide, so you can decide, in the morning I'm gonna eat more of carbs and protein only, or maybe carbs and vitamin only, and then during the day or at night I'm gonna eat another group of foods. So that is the whole aspect of balance. So it's a whole balancing thing. At the end of the day, you're not eating only one group of food or just two groups of food throughout the day. So that is the whole point of having a balanced diet, right? So what was I saying about food diversity? Food diversity is one of the best hacks I can actually tell you when it comes to eating right and eating a food that is nourishing for your body. So when it comes to food diversity, what it means is having to eat different kinds of food. By that, I don't mean just, eating carbs, eating proteins, eating vitamins. No, what I mean is, so for instance, I'm eating vitamins. On my plate, I'm not going to have only one kind of vegetable or just one kind of fruit. So I can have maybe 3 kinds of vegetables and maybe 2 kinds of fruits. That's a food diversity. Or maybe I can have different kind of, protein, different kinds of carbs. But at this point, I am mixing up, and by that, I'm not saying that you're increasing the portion of your food, because let's be very careful. I know you can get so excited when it comes to, carbohydrates, having to eat more than one carbohydrates, because we love our carbohydrates, right? But that's not the point. The point is the portion remains the same, but you are eating variety so that you can gain different kinds of, benefits from it. So if I am eating 3 different kinds of vegetables, maybe they have different kind of vitamins as well. So maybe this one has more vitamin A than this one one has more vitamin K than this one has more vitamin C than this one. So in this aspect, I am getting enough nutrients for my body. But another hack about food diversity is, apart from you just gaining the benefits of having different nutrients in your body, another thing that you get is that food diversity helps with feeding your healthy gut bacteria. So I know we've heard this too. Maybe it has even become a trend, in a global stage, I would say, when it comes to gut bacteria, having a healthy gut and all that. And there's a reason why it is trendy and all that. Because in real sense, yes, the gut bacteria also affects your digestion. The gut bacteria also affects how you absorb nutrients in your body. So it's very important to feed your gut bacteria right. And that is where food diversity also comes in. So when you are eating diversified foods, you're eating varieties of the same group of food, it helps for the different gut bacteria. There are gut bacteria that will feed in whatever, maybe they'll feed more in the minerals, maybe the calcium more or the zinc more. It's very dependent with whatever that is required at that particular time in your body. So having to eat varieties helps with the gut bacteria to remain healthy and to not hurt your gut. So in that aspect, when you have a healthy gut, we all know you have a healthy body. Another thing that I would love to point out when it comes to food diversity and balanced diet is that whatever you eat helps. It's not just about what you eat, but it's also what you eat with it in order to help with the absorption of food. For instance, we know that if we eat turmeric, turmeric is a spice. So for instance, I have added turmeric in maybe my milk. For it to be able to be absorbed well, I need to add a little bit of black pepper for it to be absorbed, or else I am wasting time. So it's important also, what are you eating with what? We all know grains and protein go really well. That's why, we're eating in our society, famously known as wali marage, because it's grains and it's protein, so it works perfectly well. They help each other when it comes to proper absorption, proper digestion. But another thing, for instance, tomatoes. You have to eat the more cooked the tomatoes are, the more your body will be able to digest, to absorb the chemical, or rather that compound that is found in the tomato that helps with nourishing your body. So there are various things that you have to imply when it comes to having to take a balanced diet. So that's why I'm saying balanced diet is so wide. It's not only just in the groups of food, but it's also implied in even other aspects. So ways of cooking, combination of foods, the timings that you eat your food, your whole meal, all that is required for you to actually consider yourself that you're eating a balanced diet. So just to conclude, just for a startup, try cooperating every group of food that I've mentioned here throughout the day. So it doesn't have to be one plate at the same time, but make sure throughout the day that you have had carbs, you've had protein, you've had vitamins, fats, as well as some minerals, which of course the minerals we're going to explore about them in the future as well. But in the meantime, start with that. Just ensure that your plate is colorful. And I assure you, when your plate is colorful, it's very easy for you to assume, or rather to know, that you are eating a plate that will be nourishing for your body and not just for the sake of eating. I am so excited that we're in this journey together. I hope that you're not just, listening and that's it. No, I hope you're really applying these steps. And that's why at the end of each and every episode, I will give you actionable steps that you have to take for you to be able to move into the journey of you becoming a healthier person. Thank you so much. Please leave out your comments, your questions. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. And do not forget to like and subscribe and share this episode. We all need a balanced diet. We all need a balanced diet. But as I said, still, it depends. So I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.